Hey guys, it's Staci and Hutch. This is not going to be awkward at all.
Definitely not.
It's a tiny mic interview because we have one mic for me and Staci.
You don't have to explain it. It's just a tiny mic.
All right. At least I don't have to do this. Oh, she has her own mic.
I have my own tiny mic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're so professional here.
You are very
Ladies and
professional,
gentlemen.
I see.
GAYLE! Yay!
I don't know how to
Did you
react.
go out party last night? Why do you still have the wristband?
It's because I did a show last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
To get into your own show, you
You have to have a wristband.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, also to like go backstage and all of that too. Like you most of the time like have a wristband and you're just like, I swear I'm supposed to
But
be
you're
here.
Hey, it's me.
You're the yeah. This is gonna be
Yeah.
weird. You're the,
Well, it's just like it's one of those things where like everybody like who's supposed to be backstage just has them, so it's just like protocol.
but even though you're like the performer, like people.
You know, I'm not too. I understand if maybe like the security guard who's been working at the venue for like 30 years is not necessarily like,
Right.
I love your music. You know, every once in a while I still have to be like, hello, I'm Gayle.
Nice
I
to
make
meet you.
music.
On stage, yeah.
Please let me in. I swear I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, so maybe Harold, who's worked there a long time, is not a huge fan of GAYLE.
Yeah, or maybe he just doesn't
And that's
know.
okay.
And it's
That's okay.
It's good.
So you grew up. Well, you're not. You're still growing up.
I am. I feel like we're all still growing up
Exactly.
as human beings.
But you
yes.
spent the majority of your life in Texas.
I did. Yes.
And then your family, or was it just you who moved to
It was my mom, my brother, and I. Yeah. yeah.
Tennessee?
To Tennessee, Nashville, baby.
That's where it is, man.
I apparently, yeah. No, I just absolutely. My mom started watching the show Nashville, and I just absolutely loved doing music. And I started singing when I was 7, and I just like kept consistently doing it. By the time I was 10, I was writing songs, playing guitar, and doing any gig that anybody would let me do. So my mom was like, I'll take you to Nashville once a month, because I kept begging, and and then we eventually just moved there because we loved it so much.
And your mom obviously very supportive because, I mean, look where you are now. But you actually were sort of, I guess, discovered by one of the judges from American Idol. And that is, I have to look at her name because I don't know how to pronounce it, Cara DioGuardi.
Yes, you got it, Cara DioGuardi.
She's the one that, if you don't remember, is the one who, at the end of one of the seasons, said she would go on stage in a bikini, if you remember her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
But what was it at? A pop-up event of some kind?
Yes. Okay. So basically, like Christina Russo and Cara DioGuardi, like together, like through an event at this place called Trimble House. Was basically like an event space that Cara owned and Christina was managing. And basically, 40 people go, 20 got to sing, and you walk in. And it was like an email list. My mom signed me up for it, and she was so excited. She literally came into my room, and she's like, "You're gonna sing for Cara DioGuardi," and I was like, "Can I go back to bed?" I was really, really excited. And then you go. I put my name in a hat, and Cara just happened to draw it out, and I sang her a verse, a pre, and a chorus, and I was 14. I just turned 14 at the time, and I was so nervous. It was the worst performance ever, and I remember thinking, like, I can't wait to run into her at a Whole Foods in like 2 years, and she pretends to know who I am. And be like, yeah, that song. And she ended up like reaching out to my mom for like in our email and like, just like taking a meeting, and yeah, she ended up like mentoring me and like teaching me so much about songwriting. And my favorite thing too is like she never necessarily did anything for me. She would always like give me the clues and see if I could figure it out for myself, and I'm like very grateful for her for that.
That's so cool.
It's kind of a crazy story on how you got where you are, but now as we talk about ABCDFU, hold on, did you see her earrings? They're so cool.
Oh my God.
The pop top. I didn't even realize that. That's really cool.
I've been sleeping in this jewelry for the past month, actually.
It's been crazy, hasn't it? Like,
Oh my gosh.
especially when you release this song.
Is there one on the other side too?
This is like, it's like a dangly heart thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show
yeah.
the camera the other one.
It's like we got a good little heart.
You got a paper clip too.
Oh, we got a little safety pin.
Oh,
in
safety
there.
pin.
Yeah.
So if you ever need
And
one,
soft
Yeah.
office
and then the other
supplies.
one.
And then we
The camera can see it. See, that's waste not, want not.
exactly.
Make it jewelry.
With ABCDFU.
Yes, never heard of it.
She has a problem with the alphabet. Don't tease.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how I found out about your song?
Yeah, please.
My son was sitting in the car with me.
Oh.
And it comes up, because I have a new music kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And it comes up, and he goes, Mommy listens to this song all the time. Now, let me tell you, we just got divorced in October.
Ooh!
And so I talked to and we're great friends. We're better friends than we were together. And so I talked to her yesterday, and I said I was, going to be time to go. Just let her know that I was throwing things in boxes when I was moving, yelling the song, and the dog was looking at me, and the kids were singing it and blasting it out loud. And I'm like, it's one of those anthems where, you have experienced heartbreak.
Yeah.
The song is about your ex.
Yes.
But you're relating to a whole host of ages and people and different experiences, And by the way, I kept the dog. So she actually was singing, she loves my dog.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
But the song is about your life. And was it easy to write since it was so personal?
It was and it wasn't. Like, there's specific parts about the song because I think we loved it so much. At time, there's a bit of pressure of like trying to when the pre was kind of the first thing we put together, and then the chorus came pretty quickly after that. But then because we loved the chorus and the pre so much, we didn't know how to always write the verses. Like, the first verse honestly took a minute to write, and so did the second verse, especially because the song didn't necessarily start out with the chorus right away. It was verse pre and then the chorus, and so because of that, we're like, how do we try and keep people's attention enough to try and get to the chorus, But it was particularly definitely one of the easier songs to write, and it was so much fun. It took 2 sessions for us to finish the song because we just kept laughing so much. And when my best friend and I write together, we have to give the other person the complete context of the relationship. So Dave got our first date, when we fell in love, when we broke up, after the post-friendship, why we're not friends anymore. He got the whole timeline. He got the best friend's perspective of the relationship, my perspective of the relationship. He asked for none of this, but he got it anyways. And that's what happens when you write with the both of us, is we hold you hostage and we will not stop talking. And we think we're hilarious. So we don't care if you don't think we're funny. We
Have you
think
talked
we're
to your
funny.
ex about the song?
Oh, I blocked him on everything in February of 2021. So I've not talked to them for over a year. And ABC is a moment of time. I do not feel that way towards him anymore.
Right.
But the reason you wrote it is because you'd heard he was talking. Not so nice.
Yeah, he was not saying the nicest things about me. And I guess also I've never really been treated properly inside of a relationship. I didn't necessarily have the best example of my parents didn't necessarily treat each other in the best ways, and specifically the father figures I had at the time didn't always treat my mother in the best way, so I never had a good example of how I was supposed to be treated. So I had this dude who was not treating me well, was not saying things to make me feel great about myself, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I didn't know me being treated bad was me being treated badly, as I just started talking about it, and people are like, excuse me, what did he say to you? Just stuff like that I just didn't realize wasn't necessarily him being nice. And I was so stubborn and committed to our friendship and our relationship. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. He treats me great. He's great. He's a great friend. And then I woke up one day, and especially after hearing that from a mutual friend, and I was like, wow, he doesn't actually care about me. He cares about the way that I make him feel. He cares about the present that I might have in his life, but he does not care about me and making me happy. And that was a really turning point in my brain and my perspective on our friendship and our relationship as a whole.
And now you're like, hey, thanks for making me certified platinum. Sucks to be you.
It's also, people are always like, aren't you so grateful for the relationship, for the song? And I'm like, even if it wasn't, if I never wrote a good song, I'd still be so grateful for that relationship because I loved him so much. I don't know if it was actually love, but I loved him so much, and I learned so many valuable lessons from that relationship. So either way, I'm just very grateful for that.
Wow, you seem really healthy.
No, I'm not. Don't you worry. Oh, don't you worry. There's chaos.
So what's next for you then? We've got this hit song. Do you ever? By the way, when you had to change it for radio, did that bother you at all?
Here's the thing. I'm never going to be mad about my song being on the radio, right? I'm never going to be like, I have to say forget you. I don't even I'm just happy that people are like willing enough. I was like, wait, I get to say forget you so it can go in the red. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm good with that. Sure. It isn't like my favorite thing in the world, but I understand the fact that there's like 7-year-olds exist, and like parents might want to control when they get to hear cursing.
Like your kid.
Yeah, like
Nash. It's funny because Nash and Skylar, they're 5 and 3, and we'll hear the song and it'll play. It's the KS95, but they've heard the other version so often because their mom, when she's packing her boxes, that Nash always says, Skylar, don't say the bad word, but sing everything else.
Yeah.
And so, it's one of those things where the song is not in its original quote unquote format, but that happened with CeeLo Green, when he did Forget You.
Definitely, I'm not mad about it. And I think it also like gives an opportunity for more people to have the potential of being able to listen to it and being able to like it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be mad about that.
Do we have any Instagram questions? If you have them, feel free to.
People are watching, but they're just hanging out.
Okay, good.
Hey.
If you guys got questions, we'll have a little bit more time with you. But
I want to talk about your Chromesthesia.
Oh, the Chromesthesia.
Okay, you explain what that is.
It's basically, so like every color I have, every song has a color.
Okay.
So all of the music I make, like even with the ABC alternate versions, the color of the alternate version is the color of the single cover. And like even with the CDs, I specifically made the color of the version is what it actually is for me. With my project as well, every color is like.
What color is ABC?
ABC, okay, so here's the thing. The song was always, that's the one that isn't like true to its form, but like the song was always red. It was always red. It was always a red song.
I assume.
And then Pete Nappy sent back the new production and made it green. And I was like, I hate you. You're the worst. And I'm like, I just have been ignoring it. And I'm like, it's red. Every time I listen to it, though, it's so green. Like, it's so green, but it's red because that's what the song is. It's red. It's red.
Wait, you see the color?
Yeah, I do.
You physically see?
It's okay, so it's like hard to explain because it's not like here, but it's here.
Okay.
This is where the craziness kicks in.
I don't know why, but I get that. I have a friend who has this too.
It's not like.
Is it annoying?
Sometimes it is annoying just because like, especially songs I write, there's like times where I like the song, but I don't like the color. So there's always going to be something I don't like about it when I listen to it.
What about your song Dumbass? What color is that?
I hate the color of that song. That's the thing. I absolutely hate it.
What
and
color?
It makes me so mad. It's like a bright, like little kitty blue. And of course I wrote the song when I was 14, so of course I wanted to like think I was cool, and I was like, that's not cool. It's like this light blue. Like it made me so mad.
I love that song though. Because
Thank you.
You know why I love it? It starts out with your producer saying, "Are you ready?" And you're like, "No." And the song is about self-doubt. Mm-hmm. And then you start singing it. You're 14, or did you record it at 14?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And you have this rich voice of like a 30-year-old, and you're 14. I'm like, what are you gonna sound like when you're 30? I mean, you're just really. I mean, I have no words.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I mean, girl. And I was looking at someone had asked you somewhere along the line who your people that you listen to and who you're influencing, and you list like Aretha Franklin. When I was 14, I didn't know who Aretha Franklin probably was.
She is the reason why I do music. Like she's
really?
the reason that when I was 7, I found her and I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. Is I want to like be Aretha Franklin. I would not even say what I do is close to the like godliness of Aretha Franklin, but like
right.
And I don't even listen to her every day. I should, but like that's the thing that like started
but
my
at
love
7
for music. Like
to appreciate Aretha at 7, you're a pretty advanced child.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
My brother would disagree, but thank you.
We're so excited for what you had to come. I know your summer is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
yes.
You were talking to us about going to Sweden and doing the festivals. And I mean, AJR.
I'm so excited.
To do stuff with AJR is insane as well. We wish you nothing but the best. We're so excited for you.
Super excited to meet you, too.
Yeah.
It's so lovely to meet the both of you.
Yes.
This is very
now
exciting.
I have to tell you where to go shopping because I know you're freezing and you need to go.
It's so, yeah, I was looking at the snow and I was like,
Uh-oh,
that's
right,
gonna
girl.
be fun. Yeah.
Is this your first time to Minnesota?
It is my first time ever. I'm
Well,
so
please come
excited.
back.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to.
Yes.
That'd be great. I'm having a great time.
I know where
so
to
far.
shop right downtown
Okay,
here,
perfect.
steps away.
Yes, let me know. Let me
Okay,
know.
I'll
Yes.
draw you a map.
Yes.
Thanks
please
for hanging
do.
out with us. We can't wait to see your next single.
Thank you for having
You got something
me.
on the way? Or
I have an EP that just came out. And so I Study of the Human Experience, Volume 1.
What color is the whole is the whole EP a color?
It's not, so the colors on it are red, pink, baby pink, kind of like a red pinkish, and then there's Z is olive, and then there's a yellow, and then those are the colors.
Well, I appreciate you introducing my kids to a very special word. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Hope you enjoyed the Tiny Mike interviews.
Tiny Mike.
Tiny Mike.